prioritize efficiency over new technology. I mean, just take the gestation period of renewable energy or any other coal-based energy. It's months for a project to fructify. Whereas if you were to talk about energy efficiency in an industry or in any other MSME, you can see the results the next day. So, I mean, the focus still is not on improving energy efficiency and getting the fruits out of that immediately. You know, just take the costs and the time period required and compare the two. You'll find that, and that's what Denmark has done. They focused primarily on energy efficiency and talked about new projects at a later date.
And you also mentioned the barriers of banking. Has Terry been successful in actually challenging the
We've tried, and I think one of the most important things is not the actual risks, they are the perceived risks which are playing up in the minds of the bankers. So it requires a lot of these training programs, a lot of these sensitization programs involving bankers. We started doing some of these, but when you talk to a banker and he has eyes open when you talk about actually the benefits of a renewable energy project. Number two, he always looks at it as a long period project, and he would rather invest in a shorter period project. So that's part of it.
How much time do you have actually? Gopi? 5 minutes? Okay. Please. Please. Yeah.
If you look at any shopping mall, like hotel, the cooling is very, very low. Even in shopping malls, we feel cold, even during summer time. I don't think they have any norm or standard what temperature should be maintained in these places. I mean, we seem to be imitating US where the total economy depends upon the wastage. With every glass of Coke they consume, they waste half glass of ice, they throw away. I mean, we seems to be imitating that. I mean, most of the malls, hotels, they're all overcooled.
Can I just add to that? I must tell you, there was I won't name the company, but I had gone there and they were boasting that in winters, they come into the building and take off their sweaters, and in summers, they come into the building and put on their sweaters. Mindset.
My question to you, Dr. Seth, is I'm very impressed by the advancement you have made in renewable energy. But what efforts have you made to help others in imbibing it, either by way of a franchising method or any other distribution method, so that whatever learnings you have done, they are used by common man?
No, I think Terry has a huge amount of action research where we actually go and implement these in villages. So it's not just that you do research and design something, but we actually go and implement it and then go to the government and give them a success story of it. Beyond that, yes, there is an issue of scaling up to large levels which India needs, but then I don't think one institution would have the capacity to, we can show examples and then leave it to entrepreneurs to come into the field.
So I have one suggestion for CL, the hosts here, and this really comes from, something that you mentioned, Harish, which is we are all anti-nationals until and unless we solve the poverty-related problems of 650 million people. For me, this is going to be a takeaway kind of thought from this conference today. My thing is that, if CL can take lead in creating a innovation challenge for these 650 million people, just like we have these big science projects or the rocket ship project challenges, and we put the crowd to work behind it, and we create an award system which is like really, incentivizing people to say, then we will have thousands and maybe tens of thousands of people trying to attack these challenges. So as a society, we need to do this, but it needs to be done with some leaders in mind. So somebody like, Elon Musk or somebody, some figure like that, maybe we'll talk to Vijay about that, set up a big challenge so that people feel motivated to do something about it. A lot of people don't even know that these are challenges because you're right, we don't know what the life of the average villager is today. We are removed from that. It's just an idea.
Actually, he might not speak much about it, but I think what Terry has done in the last 25, 30 years, a lot of replication has happened in the rural areas. In terms of, if you look at a lot of the efficiency, simple things like brick kilns, like the efficiency of brick kiln standards were brought in by them, and that actually got scale up. And what sir will always fight for a better India and always, but I also want to say that for me the issue is, I hardly come to Delhi, I'm sorry for that, but I always give it. But for me the day-to-day problems that come on my desk really frustrates me, frankly speaking. Ki degree leke kya fayda? I mean, you have last week carried a woman who, midwife, you have to put solar in Kalahandi, where the hand came out first. The midwife didn't know what to do, and they carried the lady for 8 hours to a delivery. My question is, if I stay in India like this, where I'm seeing a lady with the hand hanging out going, and these are issues we have not solved, that pains me, frankly speaking. That's what I'm trying to provoke, that we need to come out of our comfort zones completely, and we are still in our comfort zone. And that is what I'm trying to say, that it's not about sapping the energy. Most of my colleagues are 27, 28. What I want to provoke is that we do not have the time to just sit at all. Because there are 650 million who bought salt and sugar and paid my education in IIT. I'm a subsidized product, right? I think it's high time we all got up and looked at reality in a more serious way rather than waiting for a 10-year plan. And we all have the knowledge. And that's why I'm not sapping the energy, but I'm trying to provoke you, boss, we need to get up. And sir, aapka last words.
No, the last words I would repeat, and I keep repeating, is the requirement of a mindset change. Again, I'd gone to a village and these guys had LED, or let's go to any of these hearts, the sabzi wala hearts. Have you ever seen any LED bulb with them? They always put the normal old bulbs. And you ask them why? Arey wo lagayenge to chori ho jayega wo. No, this is our society, this is our culture. We've got to find a solution to this. You can't say that they will change it because you give it to them. He'll keep it somewhere else. He won't use it here.